This episode of Commish Chat is brought to you by Napper, the official ball and equipment sponsor of the National Ball Hockey League. Whether you're ripping clappers from the blue line or dangling through defenders, Napper has the sticks, gloves, and protective gear to take your game to the next level. Designed for ball hockey players by ball hockey players, Napper delivers unmatched durability, performance, and style on the court. Don't settle for less. Gear up with Napper and own the game. Visit napper.com to check out their latest lineups. Now, back to the show.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the NBHL Commish Chat Podcast. I'm NBHL Commissioner Anthony Sanrocco, joined by Gianni Sanrocco and TJ Janus as we take you through all that's been going on over the past couple weeks here. Been busy? Boys, how we feeling?
We're feeling great.
It was very busy the last couple of weeks. I think we had our two biggest ever weekends in NBHL history in terms of games, right?
Yeah.
We talked about that already?
Yeah. I think last podcast we talked about the anticipation of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they happened, Colleen, but yeah.
And they were big.
They were big. Yeah, we were.
For all of you that didn't get your videos up on time, we're sorry.
There might be some that we're still working on.
Yeah.
You can yell at us in the DMs if you don't see your game.
Yeah.
It might just be because we haven't gotten to it yet. Might be because something happened with the video file.
Yeah.
There's a few stragglers out there, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been quite busy. Yeah,
I guess like the biggest week in NBHL history in terms of games, and now kind of the biggest week in NBHL history.
Yeah,
with us being on ESPN.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I turned on my TV today to go look and see if it was on the channel guide, and sure enough, there it is, National Ball Hockey League.
Yes,
on
some of the fans were
YouTube
posting
TV.
it before I even thought about looking for it.
Yeah,
which was cool to see. Yeah, look.
Yeah, it's I don't know. You want to just get into the ESPN stuff right away? Because I want to tell the story of how we got to this happening, because it started back in, I guess, February or March of this year. And I was in my apartment, and it was just a Saturday afternoon. I didn't have anything to watch, so I put on ESPN2 or ESPN News, and kickball was on. And no slight to kickball.
Love kickball.
Kickball's awesome.
We never make an enemy out of kickball.
No.
Kickball
However,
hockey? Sorry. Right.
I was watching.
I've had that idea. Hold on. We can talk about that after the podcast, but I've had that idea before.
Kickball hockey?
Yeah, well, I'll get into it later.
Okay. So I'm watching it, and I'm it didn't seem like it was the highest level of skill. And I'm I feel like we could put something on TV that would be at minimum as entertaining as this, but I think more. I'm obviously very biased, but
a little bit biased.
I think that if we were to put a highly produced game on TV, it would do great. So I went on my laptop, looked up every single person I could possibly find on ESPN, sent out an email to however many people, and someone got back to me and they said, "Hey, we're actually doing some planning now for our ESPN 8 The Ocho weekend. We'd love to talk more with you." And they got back to me pretty quickly, and I was like, "All right, let's go." I didn't expect to hear back. I expected not to hear anything. And we hop on a Zoom call, I explain the league, and they're pretty much right away let's do it. I'm like, okay, let's make it happen. So basically that happened in March, April. We kind of finalized it, and then they sent over the agreement or the paperwork, and there was a couple little changes we had to make. So there's some back and forth there. And the idea we came up with was we were going to have play-by-play productions come out, who you'll start seeing more of them in a lot of our video, doing live streams for us. They'll be at the Elite Weekend. We're going to have them come out and film 2 weekends of games in New Jersey Tier 1. And of the games that we filmed, we would pick the best game, and that would be the one that we would edit and air. And originally we were going to film games in April, but things kind of dragged with getting the contract signed and just took a little bit. And we didn't get the contract officially signed till late May. And we all know that we have a big lull of games in May. There's nothing. So we had to have a rough cut of our game to ESPN by June 15th. So we had those 2 weekends in June.
First and second weekend of June, yeah.
Yeah. And we're all right, we got to make one of these count. So the first weekend, there was that tournament in Buffalo, where a lot of New Jersey Tier 1 players were in that tournament. So
I think we scheduled 4 games to get recorded that weekend initially, and then 2 of them got moved because of that tournament. So we only were left with 2 games to record that day on June 1st.
Yeah, so the 2 games that first weekend ended up being Tortugas versus Top Guns and Top Guns versus Caribou. And I guess this will air after the show. So,
Yeah, so
I
you
mean,
guys
not that it's a
biasly
surprise.
wanted to get the Toogs on.
That's
No,
what incredibly biased.
He's explaining all the reasons how this
I know.
happened.
I know. I mean, people have given me shit for it,
Yeah.
but like,
Oh, I can promise you, he did not want it to be the Toogs game.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. I was like, I think after the game, I was like, that was the game, guys. And you're like, I don't know. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that was the game.
yeah. So we film the Toogs game. We lose 6-4 to the Top Guns. Unreal game. Ruiz has the hat trick. It was just like, it was a sick game. The Top Guns versus Caribou game was a 4-1 win for the Caribou. Nothing noteworthy that would make that something we would do. But then we had the next weekend coming up. We're like, all right, we had a bunch of big games coming up, some really good matchups. We were excited. And then it rained. So we filmed those games still, and the rain didn't take away like too much of the games. Like when you watch it, like 90% of the game looks like normal speed, but there are just little things that happen where, you got to slow down going into the corners and you can't maybe turn as quickly or make as quick pivots. So those things are noticeable. So like we can't put a rain game on ESPN.
And also, I mean, I think that just those games, like, yeah, like they were good games, but they weren't quite as action packed as Toogs Top Guns ended up being.
Yeah. Yeah. It ended up like, it was really like, if you look at how that game happened, like the game starts, there are like 2 or 3 goals within the first like 5 or 6 minutes of that game. So instant action. Then there's a lull in the middle of the game. So that gave the announcers time to talk about the league and like all these things that happened. Then we get to the third period and there's like a ton of goals. And then we have, arguably the most well-known player in America of ball hockey scoring a hat trick to win the game.
Yep.
Like, when you and then like our team, like we've got a couple guys that currently or formerly played professional ice hockey, so it's like
The perfect storm.
It made sense that it was our game, and it was it was a very good game. Thankfully, if I had a good game, I think I would have been a lot more against it. But thankfully, I don't do anything in this game.
Yeah.
I have an assist.
Give an assist, yeah, come on.
But I did nothing on the assist. I literally gave the ball to Aaron. He made a play and took a nice shot. Like I did nothing. So. Thankfully, I was irrelevant. Gianni's name gets said a lot.
A lot more than I'd like it to be, yeah.
But yeah, it really like, we wanted to keep it contained to Jersey because we knew we could film those games and, make sure we did it the way that we wanted it to look. We were limited to 2 weekends. The one weekend, there was a tournament that took a lot of players away. And the second weekend, it rained. So it really just was... It really ended up just being the Toogs Top Guns game. Like it wasn't like we were like, all right, we're on ESPN. Gee, let's get us on there. Let's go. Like it really just worked out that way.
It was not that way.
In fact, I did not think it was going to be us going to the game, and like I got to the rink and I was like, oh my god, I forgot my goalie shell. I have a white shell that goes over my girdle to match with the gear. And I'm like, I could turn around and get it, but that's going to like screw up my whole day. I'm like, we're not going to be the game anyway. I don't need this shell. So you can see my black, goalie pants sitting there, not matching the rest of my white uniform and white pads and white helmet. So
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'll be more stylish next time I'm on ESPN.
But it was a really good game. And basically so post-production, we filmed these games and play-by-play, basically, I mean, how much editing did you have to do of that game?
Not a ton. They, on the fly while the games were being recorded, they did a lot of like cutting to different angles and making sure that like we were getting the best view. I think there was like a couple of times during the game where I liked a different angle and I would splice it in. And I also had to do all the instant replays. But in terms of like, just like following the action,
Did most,
yeah, they made my life very easy in that regard.
Yeah, I think to note is like we had to cut down some of it. But I mean, the full game you obviously saw, but you had to take some time out.
There was a lot of creative cuts, like in between whistles. There's in between like timeouts and just like cutting time, just because we have a tight window to get this footage in. So there was a lot of just like cutting that stuff out and like splicing things together to make it still look cohesive while removing some of like the downtime that you don't need to see.
Yeah.
Like an NBHL game, we slot them for every hour. So typically the footage of a game is an hour. We had to cut the game down to 44 minutes.
like 43,
46?
I think, yeah, 40.
Oh, we did 44 because the announcers had their intro. That was
Yes,
like a minute
that's
and a
right. It
half.
was 46 total, and there was a 2-minute introduction. So we had 4. Now, some of that hour time is like, time in between periods and warm-ups and whatnot. But still, game footage from, ball drop to, even cutting out the in-between whistle time to the end of the game is usually like 50, 55 minutes.
Yeah.
So there was, a lot of just like guys just, walking to the face-off dot and, standing around. And
I was, initially we were like concerned, like, are we going to be able to fit a game in? And then, just glad it all worked out.
Obviously. It was tight. Yeah. It was tight. We used every single bit of those 44 minutes that we had.
There's one cut in the first period where the ball goes to you, Gianni. I think it's an icing going the other way. Yeah. And you see you flick it to the ref, and then like 3 seconds later, the ball's dropping. And it's just like, it would be impossible for it to happen that quickly, but like we had another option.
I was really good at launching the ball down the range.
I guess you had a hell of a pass.
I got a cannon.
But then, we record the game, and then we have to get announcers. So Sam Cooperman, who we got to know through Play-by-Play Productions, and then Dan Caldwell, who a lot of people within the sport know. Masters GM, coach of graphics, plays NBHL. He's been one of our connection, or the connection at NHL Network, get us on there. So he's, a huge part of the sport. So we, have them come into our studio sitting right here. And at this point, Gianni has the game edited. So we show it to them live, and they announce it as if it were live. And Sam, this is our first time working with Sam.
Yeah.
How much of a class act was that guy? He came here. The amount of notes he had, I was like, this guy is not messing around.
He literally knows more about the NBHL than me.
He knew more about me than I knew about me.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. So he did an amazing job. Dan, too. So this was his first time ever doing color, which I did not know. I assumed he'd had experience just through, NHL Network and stuff. So yeah, it was my first time. And it's like, dude, you were great for your first time. Like, that was awesome. Like, they did such a good job. Yeah. So much credit to them. And then, Ty,
of course,
did the audio, sent it over to Gianni.
Yeah, Ty was a wizard on the audio. There was a little bit of a interference with the wind for some of the footage, and Ty was able to vanish that from existence. It was
impressive.
A hell of a job.
And then we had to get, we had to get captions or something too?
Yeah, we had to get captions. ESPN had recommended a vendor for us. They were great. I sent them the video on a Monday, and they had it back to me on Friday.
Oh, they were that quick.
Yeah. Oh, they were lightning quick. They were like, yeah, this is the regular turnaround time, but if you want like the print, like you want the rush job, it's like another like $150. I'm like, well, what's the regular job? Like 5 days. I'm like, yeah, 5 days is easy.
Yeah, that's fine.
They're like, well, some people need it within like 24 hours. Like, no, that is not us. We've got time to get this done. But they were great. Shout out to National Captioning Institute.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically we, start talking in March. We get the contract signed. We do some filming in June. We do some editing throughout June. Get that rough cut June 15th to them. Continue editing, kind of fixing it all up. June 15th hits, or July 15th hits. We have to have our rough cut, which is, I guess we did the announcing. They came in before June 15th. It would have been.
No, I don't believe we had the announcing for the rough cut. I believe we just sent them the footage edited. And then.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think. I don't remember.
No,
I think you're right.
I think we had them before.
I think we had the announcing with some of the audio.
I don't think we had like the graphics.
Wasn't tweaked. The graphics were definitely not in,
and all that wasn't in there.
Score bug wasn't in. That all got added between June and July 15th.
Yeah. And that's the other component here is graphics. Nick Salvatoons helped us design a new live stream package that you will start seeing in now our other streams. But he looks awesome. Like, it came out so good. So he put all that together. So we had a ton of people making this kind of fall into place. And hopefully at this point, everyone has seen it and liked it. And maybe ESPN wants us back for more. That's kind of the goal.
That's what we would love to see.
I mean, I think a nice surprise too in the process was when they released the press release, and we were kind of like one of the featured, things throughout the whole Ocho programming for the, the weekend. And I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Did not expect that. And then, opening night, Savannah Bananas, Pro Alberta roller hockey, and then us. I was like, okay, we'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was that press release is what got me so excited because I know how many sports they have, and I'm like, we're new and we're, I think a different. I don't know. Some of the sports are definitely like more
silly.
and whereas we're, we're more competitive, and for us to get like featured in that was like in the top, we're like, oh shit, okay, they must have at least been pretty happy with what we gave them, and to get this level of recognition here, so that was cool. And then the last thing we got was we had 8 commercial spots we were able to use, so we had 240 seconds of commercial time. So we had. You probably would have seen some garage beer ads, a Tick Pick ad. We had an NBHL ad. We had a Napper ad. Their 60-second ad that ran during the NHL playoffs. They, had that on there. So, yeah, the sponsors helped us out. Presented by Garage Beers, pretty cool. So it was just pretty crazy. I mean,
I wanted to run 8 ads just promoting Commish Chat and NBHL Podcast, but the guy shot it down, so we had to diversify a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I think, it's a big milestone for the league. One that I didn't think would happen this quick, I guess, or just the fact that I don't want to say how easy it happened, but just the process of, making it happen, I guess. And kind of mind blowing.
Yeah, and we've been on TV before on the NHL Network, but that's like clips and highlights and minutes. Yeah. But to get a full game broadcasted like this is something that we've, I think, had on our to-do list
on
for a
pretty
while.
Much every home in the U.S. I think.
Yeah. And ESPN 2 is crazy.
Yeah. And it feels, I don't know, it just feels cool like how qualified we felt to do this. You sent the emails to ESPN and they said, yeah, let's do it. And we said, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, sure. Of course we can do that. Of course we can put this game together and make it look like it is quality enough for ESPN and have action that is worth being on there.
Yeah.
And I think it's all true.
We were ready for it.
Yeah.
I felt like we were at this point. I think those Monday Night Ball hockeys last year, although they were not a success in terms of streams, it was successful in terms of teaching us how to do things, and it helped a lot.
Year one, I don't think there's any way we could have done this.
No, certainly not. Certainly not.
Just I'm just thinking year one, the jersey sucked, the whole presentation of it is it would be, way better today, obviously.
Yeah. I can't speak to how I'm going to. We're filming. This is Wednesday, so the game is tomorrow. So I don't know how I'm going to feel, but I know the first time we were on NHL Network, I remember watching and seeing they had the little list that pops up on what's next.
Yeah,
I remember seeing the NBHL logo on the bottom. Oh my god,
this is
and I was
happening.
so excited. Whereas this, we're gonna get a full hour. I mean, the game. How many times have I watched this game through? Probably 8 times.
Yeah, right.
I am unimaginable.
Gianni, I can't imagine what you've.
It's burned into my brain.
Yeah.
I think I can't wait to see it up there and just the ticker on the bottom of just ESPN, real professional sport.
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of ridiculous.
I remember during the first time we got on NHL Network for the championship game, Imperium
Pioneers.
I remember being hyped because when they were showing some of the highlights, if you look behind the net on the right side, there was a scaffold up that we were using to record on the other rink. And I was sitting on the scaffold watching the game. You could very clearly see me sitting alone on the scaffold because this is a sick view. Of course, I'm going to sit here. I'm being pumped. Oh my God, I'm on, TV for 8 seconds.
And I remember after that game, I had more people reach out saying, holy shit, was that G on the scaffold? Nobody's even really watching the game.
How sick would it be if we're watching and the ticker just has NBHL scores for some reason? Right? It's holy fuck.
That would be sick. Tier 1 updates.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
4-2 is eliminated in playoffs.
Anthony Sanrocco has been released from the ESPN Tour 2
ranking for considerations.
Yeah.
But yeah, in other news, the fact that this didn't lead off the show is kind of crazy because it's these are two of the biggest things that have ever happened to us is the expansion into Great Britain. International. More international.
Intercontinental.
Yeah. It's
across the pond.
It's crazy. NBHL Great Britain, it's an honor to, for them to trust us and want to be a part of this is it's actually, it's I don't know. It's the coolest thing. They've been so nice. They've been so kind. And, we put out an interest form with the registration, and the response has been through the roof. Like, it's kind of crazy how many people have just filled out the form, try to get more information, want to be a part of it. And
It's like millions, right?
yeah, it's close to it. Yeah. It's been wild. And I mean, I guess this all kind of started with the Scotland tournament we went to last year.
Well, not we. Only one of us at this table went to the Scotland tournament.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Sorry, guys. But yeah, we went out there, we met Rob Clayton and Ali Curry, and we met some of the Great Britain national team players, and we just, we floated the idea and just kind of small talked about it, and it kind of fizzled out from there. But we stayed in touch at some level, we communicated, and then Chris Slack came on board as the new president for the Ball Hockey United Kingdom, and I'm parched.
Up. Right in ties here.
Sorry, I woke up Rosie. Rosie, I'm sorry.
Wakes up his dog.
So yeah, Chris Slack became the new president, and we started communicating. And he's like, I was like, is this possible? He's like, I'd like it to be possible. So had a bunch of Zoom calls with him, and basically came up with a format and a system that we thought made sense for Great Britain. We, went through like the potential rosters and the players, and with our salary cap and how the teams would get split up, and figured that tier 2 made the most sense. And, we're going to work on the cap with them and figure out how to make it be the most efficient. But the draft system we thought made the most sense in terms of making sure teams were even. And, we've developed these systems, and we're still working on it. Like, nothing is completely finalized yet. So if you're from Great Britain and you're listening to this, like, if you fill out the interest form, you should have my email at this point. But even if you don't, DM us. If you've got like, hey, I think you guys should do this or consider this, like, let us know. Like, we're open to any and all ideas to make this the best possible way to do this. But basically, yeah, they're going to do the tournament style, and they will play, once a month. We already have all the dates out, and the winner of the Great Britain division will earn a spot at the NBHL championships and come out here and play, see how it goes.
I just can't wait to see the team names, like the London whatevers or the Liverpool whatevers or the
whatevers would be a crazy name.
The Nottingham somethings.
Whatevers.
Yeah. But I don't know.
But yeah,
it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to be like, we're going to be going through spreadsheets and just like NBHL New Jersey, NBHL Philadelphia, NBHL Great Britain.
Yeah, it's gonna take a little bit, I think, to feel like normal. I mean, every new division always feels like. I remember when we had British Columbia. I was like, wow, we're in British Columbia.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But now we're in Great Britain. We're honored. We're excited. And
in celebration, I've started drinking tea in my everyday life,
and
I love it.
Wow, what kind?
Earl Grey.
Earl Grey.
A little bit of honey, a little bit of milk, a little bit of almond drink. It's called, not almond milk. Almond drink.
Just pouring almonds in there?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's good. It's nice. I don't drink coffee.
I don't know what the standard is for tea there.
I know the British people in the comments who are new to the NBHL can rip me apart for that and give me some better tea recommendations.
Maybe we'll get a tea sponsor.
Yeah, I'm new to this. So if our new British players have some recommendations, I'm all ears. It's locally sourced honey. If anyone's curious.
Oh yeah. Well, that matters then.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. I support the Medford bees.
Small business.
Yeah, Great Britain, honored, excited, and we're gonna make it hopefully the best league we could possibly. We will make it the best league we can possibly give you. Like, it's gonna be fun. We'll have, video of every game, highlights, graphic, all the content will remain as it is here. You'll just
it'll be a little bit more British.
Yeah, just British. Yeah.
So
we'll have to get. Sorry, one more thing on Great Britain. I just can't wait to have a commentator with the awesome accent doing some stream someday. It'll just make ball hockey like so more elegant.
Yeah, that's so true. Like, I love watching
just soccer
or football. Sorry.
Whoops. Yeah, come on, guys.
Come on, bruv. Sorry.
Yeah. Great Britain, happy to have you. Very excited. And yeah, hopefully we were looking forward to doing another Scotland tournament. Didn't happen this year, so hopefully, a tournament spawns out of this or something where we can send another team over there, and we'd love to just compete in Great Britain again, because that was, you guys should have went. It was the best experience ever. If you guys went, you would have loved it. But you guys couldn't go.
If they had one this year, I would have gone.
I feel like I could have gone, but I just I don't know.
I guess
it was PT. Was it a week?
It was work. It was work.
Yeah, I think I had not a ton of time off to burn.
I think we had to bank them for
NBHL Cup, and we had back-to-back Buffalo last year.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's right.
But ESPN, Great Britain, 2 huge announcements. More big announcements coming too. That's the first of, probably
a million.
Yeah,
42,
a lot. But let's get into NBHL championships. So we're starting to have teams qualify. We'll get into the teams that have qualified already towards the end here. But want to get into some of the rules, how things are working, how things might be different from last year. So September 19th to 21st, going to be at the same 2 complexes as last year between the Marge Martin Sports Complex or the Gloucester Rinks in Blackwood, New Jersey, and West Deptford Street Hockey Rinks in West Deptford, New Jersey. They're about 20-25 minutes apart from each other. Gloucester's a 3-rink facility. 2 rinks are the same size. 1 rink in the middle is smaller. West Deptford is a 2-rink facility that are pretty much the same size as the 2 bigger rinks in Gloucester. So 5 rinks, 2 sites. And last year we experimented with the playoffs starting on Saturday. The feedback was people did not really like that very much. So what we did is now there are no playoffs on Saturday, but we have less teams that qualify for playoffs on Sunday. That way we can fit it all in one day. But every team will play 3 games between Friday and Saturday, and then the top teams will qualify for Sunday. Tier 1, the qualification process is a little different than it's been in the past, where Mass, Jersey, and Pittsburgh all get 2 teams. We used to have Buffalo. They would get those last 2 spots to get to 8.
Or New England the first year was the
or
first.
New England, yeah,
Wow.
to get to 10.
The shout.
But now we don't have either of those divisions as Tier 1. So what we have done is we have a couple options here. So the Chicago Southsiders are a Tier 1 team in the Midwest. They have to go undefeated to earn their spot. They're currently 3 or 4-0, I believe, and they've got some pretty good Tier 2 teams are going against out there to see if they earn their spot. So they have to win out in order to earn their spot. If they do not win out, then 2 teams will qualify from Pittsburgh, Mass, and Jersey. However, as it stands currently, 1 team, a 3rd place team, is guaranteed a spot from Pittsburgh, Mass, or Jersey, and that is the semifinalist with the most points in the regular season. So depending on how those teams that qualify, whatever, 3rd place team or 4th place team, or maybe if 1 or 2 seed loses in the semifinals and don't get the spot, whoever is the best ranking regular season team out of Mass, Pitt, and Jersey gets that spot. And like I said, if the Southsiders do not qualify, we would use the 2 highest teams that are the regular season finishes. So Tier 1 changed it up a little bit.
Do we want to cut this out if we need to? Do we want to talk about the challenge rule?
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, then we're keeping it in, folks. You're seeing it. You're seeing it at home.
It's in the rule book. Might as well. You can explain it, Jay, if you want to.
So, any team that does not regularly qualify for the championships, if Chicago does end up going undefeated and earning their spot out of the Midwest, there's still one more barrier, is that another team who made the playoffs in Tier 1 can challenge them for their spot. But they have to go to Chicago to challenge them. We're not going to make Chicago come out to whoever might want to do this.
Yes.
And then come out again for the championships if they win. So if you really want to do this, you have to go to Chicago and bring your squad and challenge them to we said a best of 3 series, right?
Yep, best of 3.
So if your team did not make the playoffs, if you made the playoffs but did not make the NBHL championships, you can go and challenge Chicago if you want for their spot.
Can you challenge across tiers?
No, I don't believe we are letting any Tier 2 teams do it. No Tier 2 teams, no Tier 3 teams. Got to be a Tier 1 team that made the playoffs.
Yep.
So if you did Pitt and Massachusetts not make playoffs? Did anyone not make playoffs out of them?
In Pittsburgh, the 5 seed did not make it, but everyone else did.
Okay, so basically everyone but the 5 seed in Pittsburgh and the 7 and 8 seed in New Jersey can challenge if they should choose to.
So, obviously a long shot that someone would travel out there, but it would be cool if it did.
Yeah.
So if you want to, and you're hearing this for the first time now and have not read the rule book, because most people seem to not read it, let us know, because we would have to organize that soon.
Could do an audio book of you just reading The rule book.
Let's do like a charity stream, like where you do it for like 24 hours. We just read
We just
through all
read
the
the
rule books and all the addendums and all the salary cap like modifiers and everything.
Go
the
through
most
every single player,
monotonous
their
stuff.
cap, and why they're ranked, what they're ranked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
We ever released a new book?
Women's tier also has new qualifications. So in the past, just the winner from the women's tier has qualified, but we have now made it that if you have 6 or more teams, the top 2 will now qualify. So Massachusetts and New Jersey will get 2 teams for the women's championship this year. We'll have 6 teams, but only the top 4 will make it to the playoffs. But yeah, getting some more women's players, the opportunity to play will be really cool.
Play some different teams for sure.
Tier 2, everything stayed the same. We will have 16 teams that qualify in Tier 2. Tier 3, the rule changed so that you have to have 16 or more teams in your division in order to qualify. So Pittsburgh and New Jersey or South Jersey get 2 teams. Everyone else only gets 1. And then Legends, the top 4 teams make it. So in total, if everyone commits and comes, we'll have, I believe it's 52 teams that will be at the NBHL Championships. Last year we had 37. So
Not including Buffalo.
no, of course, yes. In Jersey we had 37.
Yeah.
Buffalo would have been pretty much close to that number. But yeah, it'll be jam-packed weekend. Everybody's kind of bouncing around. We know if you're coming out to the facility, the back rink will feature Tier 1 the entire weekend. They will only be on that rink. There will only be one Tier 1 game going on at a time, so you can see everybody, and Tier 1 teams can watch everybody else. Tier 2 will be on the big rinks. Tier 3 will be on the big and small rinks, and they'll have off-site games. Women's might have some off-site games, and will be mixing around the rinks. Legends will be mostly on the smaller rink. So everyone's playing different rinks, different sizes, kind of, balancing the schedule. Oh, sorry, Rosie. I think I scared you. But yeah, and then schedule-wise, I always like to explain how we do the schedule because sometimes people complain like, hey, we got a terrible draw. We got a great draw. Well, the way we do the draw is we do the schedule. I think I did it in like May. And I basically slot in the teams and, like I have like Buffalo Tier 2 winner versus like South Jersey Tier 2 winner. And like when the teams win, we just put them in that slot. And when doing that, I do consider like historical finishes at the NBHL championships. Like some divisions will be ranked or playing against, like if you're a top division, top finisher, you'll play against, a division that maybe hasn't had a top finish. So there is some consideration for that, but in general, it doesn't really matter because you don't really know who's coming and it doesn't make too much of a difference. The only change that I will make after teams have qualified is if there are 2 teams who qualify that have been to the tournament in the past and have played each other in the preliminary round, I will adjust the schedule so they don't play each other again, just to give different opponents. But in general, the schedule is set and we just plug the teams in as they qualify. And then once every team qualifies is when we let the teams know, hey, here's who you're playing. That way it's, the teams that qualify now, like the Florida Red Roosters, they can't be scouting.
Yeah.
If they knew they were playing Midwest Tier 2, they couldn't be scouting those teams already and getting ahead of it. Like everyone's figuring out who they're playing at the same time. We did change the point system. Last year, we had a 5-way tie in Tier 2, and it was a little chaotic to do the tiebreakers. We did it the way that it was supposed to be done, but by looking at the scoreboard, it probably would have confused people because I don't want to get into it, but like it was chaotic and we had to create a new system that more visibly displayed in the standings and on the board at the rink. Goal differential had to be incorporated. So a lot of tournaments do like the 10-point or the 20-point system where you get 10 points for a win, 1 for goal differential, 0 points for a loss. We're basically doing that, just slightly couple little modifications. So the 10 points for a win stays the same. 1 point for goal differential stays the same. We are not giving a shutout point.
We're still going to be asked a million times if they get shutout points, and the answer is no.
There's no shutout point. 10 points for an overtime or a shootout win. You do not get the goal differential point there. If you lose in overtime or a shootout, it's 5 points. And if you lose in regulation, it's 0 points. We used this system and matched it up to the standings last year, and they came out exactly as they would have with the 3-2-1-0 system. This is just it took a second for me to sort the standings, whereas last year it took like 20 minutes to figure it out. And it was just like, oh my God, this is chaos. So
That 20 minutes might not sound a lot to you people listening at home, but 20 minutes at the NBHL championships is like an eternity.
yeah.
To have to be occupied for 20 minutes doing something is like a billion things happen while you're doing that.
Yes. It's not 20 minutes that we tend to have to spare. So
I think the biggest change to this from traditional 20-point system, I feel like we give more points for the overtime loss, right? I feel like traditional 20-point systems, you don't get anything for overtime loss. I usually just see it as just if you're getting 5 points, it's from a tie. Some 20-point systems will use tie at the end of theirs.
Right.
But our traditional regular season, we do award points for losing in overtime, and we do want that to somewhat carry over and translate to the championships.
Yeah, we want the mentality of playing the game to be the same, because we want people fighting to win in regulation, and this system ensures that continues to happen. And we want even if you get to overtime, it still should count for something. But at the same time, you might think of it a little bit more in a tournament where goal differential matters, but it is one of our first tiebreakers for the regular season too. So it is still a huge, head to head is obviously going to be the first tiebreaker, and overall wins before that. But goal differential is always a part of the equation, but this I think is going to just make it easier for everyone to know where they're at. I think you look at, if you're a team competing, you look at the standings, you see 5 teams with 5 points. Okay, am I the 5 seed or am I the 9 seed? I don't know.
You just get more feedback.
Yeah.
Immediately.
But yeah, point system, a little bit different, a lot different. Affiliate rules. So if you qualify and your whole team cannot make it, you can bring additional runners to get to 15 total runners and 2 goalies. We have some restrictions on the second goalie in terms of, how many games they can play and stuff like that. But basically 15 runners and 2 goalies if you are short. And for tier 1, the rule in the past had been you had to take from your tier 2 below you. So Jersey had to take from Jersey tier 2. Mass had to take from Mass tier 2. No longer the rule. You can take from any tier 2 team across the country. So if you qualify from, New Jersey tier 1 and you want to take a guy from Florida tier 2, you can do that. You can take anyone in tier 2. You cannot take free agents, however. You have to take someone that was rostered on a team this year. Tier 2, rule is basically the same as last year. Any tier 3 team, you can take any free agent that has not been tier 1 rostered in the past. We did create an exception of sorts for teams that are flying to the tournament, where it's outlined deeper in our rules, but basically you can use some tier 2 rostered players on other teams in your tier 2 if there just isn't access to a lot of ball hockey players in your area, and you want to give local players that experience as well. British Columbia, for example, California, they're like, hey, we won from California. We want to play with more California people, but we don't have any other tier 2 players. It's like, well, okay, well, you can pull from the other team if we grant you that exception and they are equal in, points scored and point value. And the poor guys from the West Coast Giants probably wanted to kill us with how much back and forth we had on their affiliate players that they use. Because there was guys that we thought were overqualified that we were like, hey, these guys are above the expectation of what we think is fair here. And, not that they were trying to pull a fast one or anything. It was just like, we just don't agree on this player being a equal replacement. So we had to go back and forth, probably 4 or 5 rounds of players with them until we figured it out. But if you are a tier 2 qualifying team, you may apply for that exception, but we're only granting it in select cases. Tier 3, any free agents you can use, or you can use every tier 3 team can use tier 3 players within their division. Again, the same rules apply to them being equal replacements and things like that. But in the past, again, it's been you couldn't use other tier 3 team players.
Right.
And same explanation. You want to stay local. You might not have that option of free agents in certain areas. So you can bring players from other teams as long as it is a fair replacement. Women's and Legends, that rule also applies there. You can bring other players within your division or free agents as long as they're equal or less on cap. So really the biggest change is the tier 1 is anyone in tier 2. And then now we're allowing teams to bring other players within their division. I will say though, of the teams that have qualified, I've spoken with all of them on the phone so far. Almost all of them are bringing their full team. They might be short a couple bodies for whatever reason, but it doesn't sound like a lot of teams are using affiliate rules right now. I'm sure as we get closer, there are going to be teams that do, but teams are pretty honest to their actual roster, which is great. I know the Wenatchee Nature Boys, Wenatchee's in the middle of Washington. Like it's far from, it's like a couple hours from Seattle. So they have a ridiculous commute to get here. So they're short a few guys. I know they're picking up some bodies from other teams there, but again, same rules apply. It's been a long system to figure out, making sure they're fair, but affiliate rules are a little bit different. So I remember last year we had a team that had affiliate players and we had a team that played against them texting me pretty upset. Like, this team is not using people we played against. Like they pulled a fast one on you guys. Like these are not their roster players. I'm like, listen, there are affiliate rules. These players were approved. Like we know what's going on. And they're like, oh, okay. They understood. But yeah, affiliate rules a little bit different. And then promotion, I'm not going to get into all of it, but a lot of tier 3 teams that win their division are moving up to tier 2 next year, regardless of their finish at the NBHL championships.
Moving up or blowing up.
Yeah.
As we like to say. Either you move up or your team's going to get torn apart.
Yeah. I don't even know, but there's a lot of teams in tier 3. We talk about it all the time on this podcast that should not be in tier 3. So we're changing the cap up a lot. It's going to make it a little bit more difficult to get under the tier 3 threshold. But at the same time, we're going to tell certain teams like, hey, you guys are a tier 2 team now and you will be moving up. But yeah, that'll be a big change. So, and then teams that have qualified, we've started the playoffs in pretty much every division so far. We've got a couple that haven't started. Midwest hasn't started. New England hasn't started. Georgia hasn't started.
Shore starting this week.
North Shore starting this weekend. Yeah. Like they're part of the group. Like Mass Women start this weekend. Jersey Women's are this weekend. Phillies this weekend. Like so there's a bunch that are catching up. So going through these teams right now. So West Coast Giants, they won British Columbia tier 2. Had a really good season. They won the championship, I think, pretty handedly, but they were down. And then I believe they were down and they kind of came back. 3-team division. They were in first place for most of the season. And they've got some really, really good players. They got a guy, Tanner Wart, who I'm excited to see. You watch him on video and he's just like silky smooth. Like he's very, very, very good player. As we've said before, first Canadian-based division to send a team to the NBHL Cup. Really excited to get them out here. And appreciate them traveling to come do this because it's a hike. It's a lot. Florida tier 2, we had the Florida Red Roosters qualify, which they're a combination of the Tampa Thunder, who won Florida tier 3 last year, the Atlanta Dirty Birds, who won the Georgia tier 3 division, and then some guys from the Miami Beach Boys who are in Florida tier 2. So these 3 teams basically combined to make this team, who their first matchups against the Mutiny, who are back-to-back champions, they lost to them. And then they came down for the championship weekend. They beat them in the regular season on Saturday and then in the finals on Sunday. So new team from Florida. A lot of these players have been here before, but they've competed in tier 3. They're playing in tier 2 for the first time. But they're excited. They're a lively bunch, to say the least. They'll be fun to have out here, and those guys can play. They're going to be exciting to see.
The first ever non-Mutiny representative from Florida tier 2.
First year.
Unless I'm wrong.
Atlanta won Florida tier 2.
Oh, that's right.
Pre-Georgia division.
Yep, that was
pre-Georgia times.
Yep.
First ever Florida-based Florida tier 2 team.
Orlando is in Florida.
That's not the Mutiny. I mean, that deep friend of the Mutiny.
There we go. Okay. Yeah. That's
a ton of qualifiers on that one.
That's like those ESPN facts where it's like so niche. Careful. Like we love ESPN. Yeah. We love ESPN. Over there, like first player in MLB history with 2 triples, a single, a double.
I feel like
while batting 5th in a lineup in like the middle of June. It's like,
I don't even know. I don't think that's an ESPN thing. I think it's a baseball thing. I feel like baseball has all those crazy stats.
The one just happened. I forget his name, but he just hit
the 4 home run game.
4 home runs and
12
6
RBIs.
for 6 or something like that.
Yeah,
I think it was.
that was crazy.
Insane.
Then also in Tier 2, first time we've had a Texas Tier 2 representative is the Red River Rougarou, who went 9-1. They lost to the Marksmen the first time they played them in the regular season, I believe. And then
The Rougarou came every time, right?
this is their 4th year in a
Yeah,
row that they'll
yeah.
have made it. They've made 3 straight in Tier 3, and this is their first time in Tier 2. And, it was interesting this year. We had the Marksmen go to California and play the Tier 2 teams in California to see how they matched up. And they had close, like the games were great. And then they came back, played the Rougarou, and the Rougarou beat them. So it validated Texas being capable of putting Tier 2 teams in. Like, I think after seeing the Rougarou at the Cup the past couple years, like, okay, these guys can play. And then the Marksmen always are giving them a good game, so we're like, those guys can play. And they put together these 2 Tier 2 teams, and Rougarou, led by Josh Lodato's their guy. He's a stud.
I feel like I see a Lodato highlight like
I know.
every other top plays for Texas.
Yeah, hopefully we get him in elite one of these years.
Yeah.
But he's a hell of a player. But they're great. It'll be cool to see Texas in Tier 2 and kind of see how they do. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Florida Tier 3, we had the Flagler Venom qualify. They lost last year in the finals to the Tampa Bay Thunder. So they played the Central Florida Villains in the final, beat them 3-0. Those guys had a huge rivalry all season going back and forth. And they're fired up.
It's Flagler?
Yeah.
I've been saying Flagler all year.
Oh, is it?
No, it's Flagler.
Okay.
I'm like 99.5.
I trust you. No one's ever said it to me.
I know there's a college,
I
Flagler
feel like that
College.
happens a lot with teams in this league where like I will only ever see them written out and not spoken aloud.
Yeah.
And then I hear someone say it for the first time, like, oh, that's how you say it. I think the Nature Boys, I would have butchered their name if I hadn't heard you say it first.
Yeah. Like even in our What You Missed This Week last week, Alex, we said Evesham Tortugas and she said Evesham. And I was like, can you fix this? She's like,
She's just throwing shade because we played them in the playoffs.
I know, right? And I was like, hey, if you can fix this, great. If not, it's my team. Like it's But yeah, I'm sure maybe someone heard that. It's like, oh, it's Evesham. And it's like, no, it is Evesham. It is Evesham. But Flagler Venom, sound like they've got a really good squad coming out here. They're excited. And a lot of debuts for them for this tournament. In North Jersey Tier 3, Piscataway Lumberjacks. What did you think that was?
I actually, Mom and Dad knew, and we were talking about North Jersey for some reason. I said like Piscataway or like Pascowitty or something, and like I was saying it to like Mom and Dad, and they were like, "Gianni, come on."
Being from Jersey is
like
insane.
it's a New Jersey like city. Come on.
We can confirm it is Piscataway.
It's like Rutgers. I think is like I think.
How do you say Lumberjacks?
Piscataway.
Lumber, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
What about the Voodoo? Do you know the Voodoo in Texas?
It's they're Boise. Bosser? I don't know.
I think it's Bossier. Yeah. That we could be wrong.
Maybe we just need a video of us going through every single name.
That way, when we do the thing where we're gonna read out all the team names, we'll see how many we butcher.
Well, when teams submit their team name next year, we'll make them have to send a video of them pronouncing their name.
It's honestly not a bad idea.
But yeah, so these Lumberjacks, dominant season, 14-0. Never really a doubt, I would say, that they were going to be representing from North Jersey. They just had a really, really good year. And those guys are fired up. They're fired up. Speaking with their captain, he just said how much fun they had this year and how they just are really looking forward to the tournament. I think they have most of their team coming out here.
We're at Trek down the turnpike.
Yep. Easy trek compared to the Wenatchee Nature Boys who qualified. The first time the Seattle Old Snacks did not qualify for the NBHL Championship. They were going for a 5-peat.
Yeah.
5-peat.
A sad day in the PNW, but also a great day for the Wenatchee Nature Boys.
Yeah, the Nature Boys. So the Nature Boys were formed by Justin Pinkerton, who was a cold snack.
Is he a 5-time champion?
He's a 5-time champion. He's got to be the only one.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah. If anyone else out there's a 5-time champion, let us know.
Let us know, but I think he's got to be the only one. Yeah, bring the Nature Boys out there. A lot of new players to the NBHL, some ice hockey guys. I think a couple of the Snacks ended up on their team that's going to come out here as like replacement guys. But it will be cool to have a new representative from the PNW. Literally sponsored by Ric Flair. I've explained that to people. People don't believe it. We posted a post about it last week. His weed company actually sponsors that team, and Ric Flair. He has a Ric Flair number 69 NBHL jersey. We don't have a picture of him in it yet. I hope we get
there. We'll get there.
We're going to get there.
It didn't happen.
Yeah. And then lastly, but certainly not least, of the teams that have won their division and qualified are the Shreveport Raging Gators, also from Louisiana. Have a couple guys that have played on the Rougarou in the past on their roster. Had a really good year in Tier 3. I think they lost one game to the Voodoo in Tier 3. They even beat the Marksmen at one point in Tier 2. So they are really strong. And yeah, mix of new players coming to the tournament. Some guys who have been here before, but excited to see them. Get some Gators out here. But yeah, so those are the 7 teams who have qualified at the time of you listening to this. Probably another, 6 or 7 teams will have qualified the weekend of, August 2nd and 3rd. So if you don't get mentioned here, it's just because we recorded this before that happened. But
we would have had a couple of Jersey teams qualify this past weekend, but the director made an excellent call to postpone the games for rain, and it did end up raining.
Thunderstorm.
So you sent a text and it just literally started storming.
I don't know if it was that bad at the rinks, but I had to pick up Lily from the groomer when it was storming.
That's Gianni's dog.
My dog. I think I've talked about Lily on the podcast before.
I'm joking. Obviously, it's your dog.
I know that people religiously follow our dogs from the podcast, but it was actually up to my ankles river at the bottom. When I got out of my car to bring her home from the groomer, I'm like, you're not walking. So I picked her up and carried her in the house. You just got groomed. I'm not having you take a bath in the front yard.
Yeah, so, it was the right call.
Incredible call to cancel the games and move them to this week. But we would have had.
It's going to be beautiful this weekend.
It's going to be incredible weather this weekend.
80.
Yeah.
But we would have had 2 Tier 1 teams and 2 Tier 3 teams qualify.
And not 2.
Or no. Tier 3, they were only going to play game 1.
Tier 3 we wouldn't have yet.
But now they are potentially all going to wrap up their semifinal series this weekend.
But we do know from Tier 1 Massachusetts who's joining us.
We do.
We've got the Cleghorn Crooks making their return. And the New England Scorpions, their first ever trip, which I'm excited for those guys. They've been grinding in our league for years. A lot of them were on the Twin City Classics who, were always a playoff team for the most part, but never really got to compete at the tournament.
Yeah.
And they're getting their first shot. I talked to their coach, Dan Walsh, earlier today, and they're very, very excited. They might be missing some key guys, though. So I'm hoping so badly that it works out for them that they are not missing those guys. But we will see what happens with them. And then the Crooks, we know the Crooks. They've been here as the Stars. They won it all in 2023. They were the Crooks in first year. They were the Crooks. And, Corey Wilson, Brandon Jones, Corey Fredrickson, JD Dutney, a lot of the guys that you see from the national team that you'll see in Elite. Just some really, really standout players. So they're in the finals right now. And as of the time of this recording, the the Scorpions won game 1, 7-5.
Yeah.
So they're up 1-0 right now. So they're a win away from winning it all in mass. So we'll see this weekend what happens. I'm actually unsure if they're doing game 2 and game 3 this weekend or just game 2. I guess we'll figure that out.
They got time. They don't got to rush it.
Yeah, that'll be good. So those are the champions. And the last thing we're going to do here, new segment. I don't know if we're going to use what I'm saying right here, but we're going to do some blindly ranking of logos.
Yeah, should we shut the laptop here?
Yeah, shut the laptops. Shut your eyes real quick.
Yeah. How many? Yeah, you'll explain.
I'm going to have...
Can I open my eyes yet?
Oh, yeah. Open your eyes. So I'm going to have 10 logos that I give to you, and you're going to rank them. You guys will agree on a ranking.
Okay.
Right? We'll do one collective ranking.
Okay, sure.
1 to 10 of where you think that team is. But the first logo, you'll be like, okay, I think in this list, when it's all said and done, this would be the 6th best logo. Right. So you're just kind of...
And we're ranking purely based on logo. We're not actually ranking the teams.
Yes, just purely what logo you like best.
And we have to agree.
Yeah.
All right.
Shut your eyes again. I forgot to do something. All right. Don't open. And I'm going to open. When you open, we're going to have the first logo. All right. So first team, Florida Swamp Things. Open them up.
Open eyes.
Yeah, Yeah, eyes shut. It's literally a
Wow,
blind
that would
ranking.
be sick.
Swamp Things. It's a pretty good logo.
It's a little AIE for me.
It is a little AIE.
The stick being connected on both sides is.
Extremely AIE.
I would be interested to see someone try that out. You'd have to be like basically like paddling a boat while playing, but
You can tell the font at the top's a little AI. I mean, all right. I think I'm gonna go like 8.
I was gonna say 7.
Okay. I'll go with 7. We could
All
go
right.
with 7.
7?
As in the 7th is 1's the best, right?
1 is the best,
All right.
10 is
Yeah.
yes, the worst.
7.
7.
All right. Team number 2. Tucson Sandstorm.
I couldn't think of the name right away. I actually do like
I
this
like
one.
it. It's clean. It's simple. There's not, sometimes logos will have too much going on.
I'm a big fan of this logo
I feel like
personally.
this is like a mid-level, maybe like a 5 or 6.
I was thinking 4, so let's split the difference and go 5.
Yeah, 5.
All right, Sandstorm at 5.
Sandstorm at 5. Mass Banditos.
I've never seen. It's funny. I don't see a lot of these logos up close. I only ever see
Yeah.
like the tiny little icons on
Yeah, right.
on the site. So it is fun to see them like big and like in front of our
I
faces.
like this logo other than the text, I guess.
I like it. Do we like it more than the Sandstorm?
I don't know.
I think it's definitely. I'll put it above the
Swamp.
Things.
Yeah. Maybe put it between,
Put a 6,
I guess.
You guys have 5, 6, 7 right now.
5, 6, 7 right now.
So you're
Wait.
going. That takes away a lot of wiggle room for you guys.
I'm comfortable with that.
I feel
Good
like
logo.
this might be like an 8, but
I mean, I think the text is like Microsoft Word.
yeah, that's
like,
what I'm saying. I think this is like 8 or it's got to be 8.
Okay,
It's got to be 8.
I'll let you go 8.
And obviously put this one in. Never mind. Keep going.
1, easy 1.
The New York Pigeons.
The New York Pigeons.
Easy 1.
It's
I actually
probably
like this one.
it's probably a 10 for TJ and a 1 for G. No, the logo is actually sick.
Yeah.
I know we roast on it, but it's actually a sick
It's
logo.
actually. It shouldn't have won March Madness. Is all was my really.
It's
my
not a
only
bad
critique.
logo. He just thinks it's an overrated logo.
Yes.
It's got the chain,
What do you think?
I'm thinking like a 3 or a 4.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. 3.
Put a 3. All right,
Yeah.
3.
Pigeons at 3. All right, Pigeons at 3. Murraysville Mad Hatters.
Unfortunately, I feel like this might be 10.
I feel like I want to leave 10 open.
Okay.
Give it a 9.
Okay. 9.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Like, I know I just said I like clean logos, but I don't know. I just feel like I need more going on here.
I think color. at
Yeah, I
bare
think the
minimum,
lack
you
of
know?
color really hurts it.
A lot of white space.
I know I've seen it like on the jerseys, and it does pop because they're on like red uniforms,
Yeah,
right?
they're like maroonish
And so
red.
it does pop a little bit more on the uniform, but as a logo in a vacuum, it's just not
In a
doing it for
vacuum.
me. The 9.
Is it a 9?
Yeah.
Okay, Mad Hatters at 9. All right, and next we have
Oh, surprise!
Montgomery Whistle Stoppers. It's like the Brandon Jones graphic coming up early on the draft.
I like everything about this logo except for the dude. I love
Why?
the
Just
this
because
one's
he's
pretty
because he's
good.
shredded and you're not.
So
I
what-
love the train. I think the train looks really cool.
might be a 4. Do we have 4?
4 is open. 6 is also. Is 6 taken? I think this feels more like a 6 just because of the dude.
Okay. I'm fair.
What do we not like about the dude?
I just like I don't know. He's like I just don't like the dude. I think it would be better if it was just a train.
Would you?
I love trains.
I
Anyone
do
who's taken
like
a
this
long car
one.
ride with me to a hockey tournament knows I love trains.
He should be less
Like, two
muscular.
people got that reference. They're gonna love it.
I don't understand that at all. But
If he was less muscular.
I feel like he's like too muscular. I don't know. He looks like he looks
too
like
strong. He's too strong.
Yeah, he's trying to be Captain
He's too
America
strong
out
to
here,
be
you
on
know?
the shirt.
if he was weaker and happier, would you think you'd like him more?
I think there's just too much of him. You know, like maybe if it was like less torso, like just like
Yeah. Where's his legs?
yeah, where are they?
Yeah.
He's too big for that train.
Yeah. He's stuck in that train for
6.
life.
6.
Yeah. Okay. 6.
Lobsters.
Man. I mean, they have the NBHL logo in the team logo.
I feel like it's got to be 1 or 2. Right?
I think
Logos
we give
actually
him
go.
2.
Leave 1 open.
Yeah, I think we'd leave 1 open because like
There's some good
the
logos. in the league.
NBHL logo is kind of like cheat, like it should go to 1 automatically, but maybe 2.
As a team, though, hate them, can't stand them. But logo, great.
Yeah, down there. Got a lobster's hat. Represent. You want?
That's the logo. It's on the screen. Here, hold it up.
show
Hold it
it
up to
on
the camera.
NBHL logo's butchered in
Yeah, it's
kidding, but
little
just
too
a little
tight
dot.
stitching.
Oh, that might have to dock
Number
2
2.
points. All right, number 2. All right. Metho
Wow.
Valley Zonkies. The colors.
yeah.
It's beautiful.
I kind of love it.
I feel like I'm tripping on watching.
Would we have 4? I think this is 4.
We have 1, 4, and 10 left, right?
I think this might be 10 actually.
Wow, so that's really going to split up our next two with between 1 and 10.
I think this might be a 10.
No, I don't think it's 10.
Dude, this logo's sick.
I think it's a 4. I like putting. I don't think it's 1.
Okay. No,
I
it's
don't think-
definitely not 1.
I don't think it's 10.
I had
no.
it at 10, so definitely not 1. I mean, it is cool. I guess it's just like a lot. I guess.
Like, doesn't that donkey look like he'd be sick to hang out with?
I think it's a zebra.
It's a zonkey. Do you guys
Oh,
not know what a
sorry.
zonkey is? Do you know what a zonkey is?
It's a
A
zebra, and a donkey.
Yeah,
A
like
zonkey.
it's an actual thing, but they can't breed.
Really
Yeah, you have to breed a zebra and a donkey, but the offspring cannot breed.
interesting.
So you just
Like-
have to.
by law.
Yeah. They, by nature, they're allowed to, but Congress passed a law that they're not allowed to breed. I believe ligers are the same way.
Wow.
Maybe we need a ligers in the league next year. Anyone listening?
Yeah,
True.
new team, Ligers.
Do we have a Tigers in the league?
Nor do we have a Lions.
We don't.
That's crazy.
We need a division to have 2 teams called the Lions and the Tigers, and the
And-
following year they merge into the Ligers.
That's actually a really good idea. All right, I'll give you 4.
Yeah, you guys have 1 and 10.
This is big.
High stakes. High
Yeah.
stakes.
I don't know that if you guys played this correctly, to be totally honest.
I have no idea how to play this game.
All
The
right,
first time.
the counts.
I love it.
I think
right?
1. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's an easy one.
I'm okay with that at 1.
Yeah, the counts.
Great
logo.
color scheme. The purple and gold is sick.
Yeah, this is not an AI logo.
The head,
This is a real.
I think their logo last year was more of just the head, right?
this is just the head grew a body this year.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
here-
I mean, I still
they
like
moved
it.
up to tier 2 and they showed
Great bod.
more.
Some growth.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
fan of this bod. You're not body shaming here.
And
No.
number 10.
No, this count's got a great bod.
Okay, so counts are 1.
All right, so by default, number 10. Makos.
I feel like
I don't think I would have put it at 10, but I
I
don't
think
feel,
like Mad Hatters maybe, or
I don't feel bad about putting it at 10.
Banditos could
I
have been
like
swapped.
the Makos logo. I think I just like the color scheme of the Makos.
Color scheme is great.
Yeah,
I will say that on the big TV that like they're zoomed in and a little pixely, so it's a little
that might be
Not
my
fair.
fault though.
Gotta
yeah.
get-
No,
gotta
no,
get this
that's what I'm
vector
saying.
race
It's just like on our
submitted
end, you know.
Yeah.
If I saw them like more, I don't know what the word is, but
All right, Ty, can you read off the list?
All right. I think you guys did a pretty good job on these, to be fair. So at 10, we've got the Makos. At 9, we've got the Mad Hatters. At 8, we've got the Banditos. At 7, we have the Swamp. At 6, we have the Whistle Stoppers and that big strong guy. At 5, we have the Sandstorm. 4, you have the Zonkies. Pigeons at 3. Lobsters at 2, and Counts at 1.
I think that's pretty solid.
pretty good.
Yeah, I feel pretty
Yeah, it's
good.
not bad.
I mean,
think-
there's a
I
few
think-
changes, but
Yeah, there's a few changes
See
I
it.
would make. Thanks, Ty.
what do you think the biggest miss was from us?
Well, I don't think the Makos
I think
are number
Makos is
10
definitely
seed.
the
No.
biggest one off
Yeah,
their spot.
they're definitely
Yeah, I'm putting Makos above Mad Hatters and Banditos.
Yeah.
I think
And-
Makos are in that like 5-ish range. But otherwise I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well done, guys. Honestly, that was impressive.
we should do this for like every new division. Just as
we
the
should.
logos come.
Well, I guess you'll just.
Oh wait, yeah,
you'll
actually,
know
wait, yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid idea.
That's just making a list.
Yeah, that's just a list exactly.
All right. Well, that was cool.
All right.
Good work, team.
Any questions from the viewers that we didn't ask?
No.
No.
Yeah, we keep forgetting to do that. We're not very good about that.
Sorry, we did a different.
I usually
fun
make one up
bit
on
at
the
end
fly,
at
and
the
I
end
can't
the
think of one
podcast.
right now. How do you feel about making a debut on ESPN?
Pretty
Yeah.
another day.
Not a big deal. Not a big
Fired
deal.
up.
All right. Well, That's it. You know where to find us. Apple Podcasts,
I'm sick of
YouTube, Spotify, Commish Chat. See you next time.
Rosie, say bye.
See ya.
Goodbye, everyone. Say bye.
She's so confused.
All right, okay, bye.